Story of the day, just we got to control the things that we can control. We got to make our kicks. We got to take care of the ball at the end right there. We're in a field goal position right there to be able to win the game in overtime. And, just the execution all across the board. It's just there's some good football in there and there's some bad football. And we got to continue to attack it, but it's just the things that we gave away. It was a bright spot to get a couple of interceptions, got some points off of that. But again, 104 in the red zone with opportunities there. Those ones and the kicks. I mean, it's just, it's the story of the game right there. It sends it into overtime. So we just got to play. We got to play better as a group. To come away with these games where we're playing good football for parts of it. But we have to put together a full complement of quarters, a full finish to become the team that we want to become.
What was their explanation on the Thielen catch at the end of the half, catch, non-catch, and did you agree with it?
Yeah, they called it incomplete, and there was some movement in the ball. I thought he had control going down. He got his knee down, but it's a close call. And then they called incomplete to start, so it's hard to turn those over. When they've called it one way and there is a little bit of movement there. So you gotta go with the officials on that one.
Dave, to think you have it twice and then to not, how do you? What's your message to the team in terms of kind of keeping their spirits up after this?
It was just the same message I gave to all of you. It's the things that we control. The things that were well within our control in terms of just getting down there to in field goal range, coming away with points there, taking care of the ball at the end right there because that's on us. So that's the point to drive it home to the team. It was the same message that I just gave to all of you.
Dave, how'd you feel your quarterback played today?
I thought he played great. I thought he made some critical throws in critical situations. He got us out of some bad ones, threw the ball away a couple times when it was an aggressive day. They blitzed a lot, and he handled it well again. So, and gave us a chance to win for sure on those last couple of drives.
All right, Coach, as the rebuild continues, how important is it to have players like Robert Hunt buy into the system?
Yeah, all the guys that we're counting on, just all of them coming together as a group to find the finish, to find the consistency that we've been looking for, for that to carry over and for it to sustain. It can't be here and there. It's got to be the whole time that we have to grasp that part.
Outside of Bryce's scrambles, there's 18 rushing attempts. What's the sweet spot for you guys in the game after passing the ball 46 times?
I don't have a specific number. I think that, we were having some success throwing the ball as well. The run averages, some of the runs look pretty good. They made it hard on us early on. But, we kept mixing it in there. We'd love to have more, but I don't know if there's a specific number if you put yourself in position to win the game.
Dave, what do you say to Chuba after one like that?
Fundamentals. Just take care of the ball. You know what you got. You got your yardage there. Okay, lock it up like we talk about, just the basics. He'd be the first one to come up here and tell you the same thing.
Dave, you guys made the decision to play Shaw Smith-Wade at nickel over Dane Jackson. He comes up with that big interception. When you make those big decisions and a guy immediately responds to them, how much does that justify the program you guys are trying to build and the overarching chemistry you guys are trying to build here?
Yeah, it's about opportunity, and when guys get these opportunities to get back in there to show us what they can do and they make plays, that's great. And that gives us a lot of confidence, in the young guys to get out there. But again, I got to watch the film and see what the rest of the film looked like for Shaw, but that was certainly a huge play for us.
You mentioned the red zone. The one late in the game, you went to Jonathan on 5 consecutive touches. Why did you do that and kind of got away from Chuba there?
We were moving the line of scrimmage. He happened to be in on that drive, and he was doing some good things. He had a couple nice checkdowns to make some yards too. So really encouraged by his progress from the first week to the second. It was great to get him some touches so he can get that experience that he needs.
There were a couple of 4th and shorts you opted to kick, 2 misses by Pinheiro. What is your philosophy ongoing for those short distance 4th down?
Yeah, trying to get points, and I think if you miss a couple, it makes you feel like maybe we should be a little bit more aggressive, when we go, if we get another opportunity that way.
You said Bryce played great. Can you elaborate on what you saw that was great?
Just the operation, being decisive with the ball, knowing that they were giving us a bunch of different looks and handling the challenge of it, and really, studying the film throughout the week to find the voids in the different, pressures and things that they brought. So just, again, the decisiveness of play is what's, really critical, at the position. And he did a great job of that today.
Despite the outcome, how much confidence do you get in your offense when they're able to drive the ball into scoring position in those high-pressure late-game situations?
Yeah, I mean, it's great. You know, the chemistry is growing, and the trust factor, all those things are headed in the right direction. But you got to do it for 4 quarters, and there was some lulls in the middle of it too, and so some of the execution stuff we'll look at and continue to grow from. But for the guys to see that we can do this, we can make this happen, when everybody does right, But it's the whole thing. It's all 3 phases.
I understand that you're on the offensive side of the ball. This is the second week where the defense has not been able to really get that late game stop. How do you guys fix that?
Yeah, just looking at rush lanes, making sure the guys are playing the right leverage in the coverages, the things that we're asking them to do. So we'll get a look at all that on film and we'll attack it for sure.
Dave, is there an emotional weight that you have to shake when the game ends this way?
Absolutely, because it's the things that were controllable. Just going back to that, and if we can own those things, then we'll play to what we're capable of playing.
Coach, I didn't know if you knew, but Sam Franklin came sprinting over to the Bucs side just a second ago and was shouting for a fight. I didn't know if you were aware of that.
I was not.
Okay.
I was not aware of that.
Going back to Chuba, I think when the play Joe asked about or series where Brooks had all the carries. You only had 9 carries for Chuba at that point, and he's been your workhorse, and you've been talking about him being that. Did you feel like you just got away from the running game?
I just thought that was the way that that drive played out, and we were getting good movement, so we wanted to kind of stay with it. And Brooks was out there, and I thought he did a good job. Again, I got to watch the film to see what was actually there in all those runs, but that was just the situation of where we're at in that drive.
What should have been done differently on the defensive side with 30 seconds left and they went 30 or 40 yards to get that tying field goal?
I got to watch the film to give you a real clear answer on that, Scott.
What did you think of just kind of matching wits with Todd and seeing Baker, on the other sideline and how that played out?
It was a great challenge. It was a great challenge for us, and threw us 2 interceptions, but then just kept battling, and we knew that there was going to be a dogfight. We knew it was going to be a tough game, and Todd certainly knows, this system. He saw it firsthand, and he threw a bunch of difficult things at us, and we were, he caused some problems, and we were able to, capitalize on a couple of the opportunities as well. So we knew it was going to be a challenge, and that's what we expect week in and week out.
Dave, Eddie and Johnny seem to struggle a little bit early with their kicks. One, how's Eddie feeling? And then what type of feedback did you get from Tracy on those early attempts?
Have to talk to the guys more, but they'll come up here and be the first to tell you they got to execute better in those situations.
Do a couple more.
Well, I guess Caleb Farley on that first kickoff, what happened there on the personal foul? We didn't really get to see it.
I don't know. I was not looking directly at what happened there, so I'll have to, gather some more information about that. But there were a couple of penalties, out there, and again, those fall under the things that we're in control of, and we have to play with composure. You can't give NFL offenses any field position advantage, anything like that. We had him pinned back on a good kick, so on a great coverage and a tackle on that, so we have to make sure that we're just executing and just doing our job and just knowing. Play with passion, yeah, but we got to play smart, and that's a part of what we're trying to do.
I'm sorry. You guys weren't able to get a playoff right before that 2-minute warning. What happened there? Were you trying to get one in, and if so, was there a communication issue?
No, it was a part of it, part of what we were doing.
Okay.
Mm.
The offense has played so well the last 2 weeks. Would you say that the one problem left is finishing, that it's just too many field goals, too few touchdowns?
Absolutely. Finish in the red zone. We got to get touchdowns in those situations. Really close stuff last week, really close stuff this week. That's just us fine-tuning the chemistry, fine-tuning the landmarks, all those things, just making sure that we finish that way. And then, of course, on the defensive side, to be able to finish the game the way we want to.
All right, thank you very much, Coach.
All right, thank you.